Welcome back to Arsenal Updates, the place where passion meets precision and where every single development surrounding the Gunners is broken down with clarity, detail, and excitement. Today we bring you a transfer story worth more than gold, a deal that feels less like routine business and more like a defining moment in Arsenal's rise under Mikel Arteta. We're talking about none other than Piero Hincapié, the Ecuadorian defensive talent from Bayer Leverkusen, who is now closer than ever to making the Emirates his new home. This isn't just another signing. It's the kind of move that makes supporters stop and think, this is the missing piece, the one that adds steel, balance, and confidence to the backline. The buzz is real, from social media threads filled with speculation to conversations in pubs and fan forums debating whether Hincapié is the man who can anchor Arsenal's defense for years to come. After already splashing heavily on Victor Gyökeres and Martin Zubimendi, Arsenal's decision to now strengthen their defense shows that Arteta and sporting director Andrea Berta are thinking about the bigger picture. They're not just assembling names, they're building a complete machine designed to challenge Manchester City and conquer Europe. At just 23 years old, Hincapié already has the maturity of a seasoned professional. His performances at Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga and in European competition have not gone unnoticed, and Arsenal have been tracking him carefully, waiting for the right moment to strike. Fabrizio Romano himself confirmed that Arsenal moved with speed and conviction, pushing ahead of rivals and advancing talks quickly with Leverkusen. The total package is structured smartly, around £45 million in value, but set up as a loan with a fee included, protecting Arsenal's budget and showing Andrea Berta's sharp eye for sustainable, calculated deals. This isn't reckless spending. It's strategic, it's ambitious, and it's the kind of planning that fans have long wanted to see. Hincapié fits perfectly into Arteta's tactical system. He's not only physically strong and aggressive in duels, but he is also technically comfortable on the ball. The modern game demands defenders who can pass, press, and even step into midfield when needed. Being left-footed, Hincapié brings natural balance to the backline, and his ability to also play at left-back gives Arteta more flexibility in squad rotation and tactical shifts. Fans know that in a long season with Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, and League Cup, versatility is priceless. Tottenham Hotspur were also chasing Hincapié, and for weeks the whispers suggested they might land him, but just like with Eberechi's earlier this summer, Arsenal acted decisively, convinced the player with their long-term vision, and pulled ahead of Spurs. That makes this deal even sweeter for fans. It's not only about improving the squad, but also about flexing strength in the market and frustrating rivals. Money always matters in football, but Arsenal have played this cleverly. They've already spent heavily this window, over £200 million, yet still managed to bring in a top defender without overextending. Andrea Berta deserves huge credit here. His reputation for blending ambition with sustainability is proving true. By structuring the deal this way, Arsenal keep financial flexibility alive for future moves while still adding a player who can elevate the team right now. Jakub Kiwior is expected to move to Porto, making space for Hincapié and ensuring squad balance is maintained. This isn't about hoarding numbers, it's about quality over quantity, and that's what sets serious clubs apart. Hincapié's qualities are already admired across Europe: speed to cover ground, aggression to win battles, calmness to build from the back, and the international experience of representing Ecuador on the biggest stage, the World Cup. At just 23, his best years are ahead of him, and under Arteta's guidance, the potential for him to grow into a defensive leader at Arsenal is immense. Romano's updates have kept fans glued to their feeds, refreshing constantly for the famous "here we go." Every report brought fans closer to believing, and now all that remains is the official unveiling with Hincapié holding up the Arsenal shirt at the Emirates. Imagine that moment, the roar of excitement, the sense that another vital piece has fallen into place. Arteta's personal involvement in this transfer cannot be overstated either. Players have repeatedly said they are drawn not only to Arsenal as a club but to Arteta's vision, his clear communication, and his sense of building a project, not just a team. Hincapié reportedly felt valued after those conversations, and that connection makes all the difference. When players buy into the mission, they fight harder And that's exactly what Arsenal need as they push to the very top. Fans on podcasts, forums, and across social media are already buzzing with optimism. They see this as a statement of intent, proof that Arsenal are serious about challenging across all competitions. For Ecuador, this transfer is a moment of pride as one of their own steps onto one of the biggest stages in world football. And for Arsenal supporters, it's reassurance that their club is no longer settling, no longer waiting, but actively building with clarity, ambition, and confidence. Transfers are judged years down the line, but right now this feels like a masterstroke. The perfect blend of talent, age, versatility, and financial intelligence. Hincapié's story at Arsenal is just beginning, but already it carries the promise of being remembered as one of the smartest moves of the summer. So the question that echoes across the Arsenal community right now is simple. Will Piero Hincapié be the defender who helps carry Arsenal to glory? And with Fabio Vieira also linked with a potential move to West Ham, the final days of the transfer window are shaping up to be dramatic and decisive. This is Arsenal operating with intent, and the football world is watching. Smash that like button if you're excited about this transfer. Drop your thoughts in the comments about where Hincapié fits best in Arteta's system. And don't forget to subscribe because this is only the beginning of what promises to be a season full of drama, ambition, and hopefully silverware for the Gunners. We're talking about Piero Hincapié, the Ecuadorian defensive powerhouse who is closing in on a move from Bayer Leverkusen to Arsenal. For supporters, this isn't just another signing, it's a statement, a moment that feels special, the kind of addition that gets people debating in pubs, refreshing social media feeds, and buzzing across forums because it speaks to something deeper than just squad depth. This is about Arsenal building the complete package, a team with no weak points, a machine engineered for titles. When you look at the way Arsenal have approached this transfer window, the pattern is clear. The club have already invested heavily in Victor Gyökeres to sharpen the attack and Martin Zubimendi to strengthen midfield, and now they're addressing the defense. It shows Mikel Arteta and sporting director Andrea Berta are not just collecting stars, they're building a balanced squad that can stand toe-to-toe with Manchester City, dominate in the Premier League, and compete in the Champions League with authority. At 23 years old, Hincapié is a player who has already proven himself in the Bundesliga and European competitions, showing maturity and composure far beyond his age.